Hello, everybody. Hello, YouTube. Hello, art history enthusiasts and visual culture aficionados. It's me again, Miss M. And I'm back with yet another video. So, I just want to say hello again and welcome again. And, thank you for being here, okay, if you're watching. Last night, I did the big one. And you guys have just warmed my heart. 232 views in 22 hours. Like, for any other channel, that might not mean much. For me, it means a ton. So, thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate it so much. And again, I know, basically, my theory with regard to the forced air heating vents. I know that I might be wrong, or at least partially wrong, or whatever, but I couldn't not let you know about that. And I wanted to let you know about that. So now going forward, when I continue with my Understanding the Shining series, we can be aware of those vents. So again, I got some awesome comments. Thank you to all the commenters. I appreciate you so much. Let me just do my church announcement right now. So we can get that out the way and really get to having fun. I don't know how long this video is going to last. But go ahead and get something to drink. Put your feet up. Yeah. I'm going to talk about something that's a part of this movie. Okay. And I believe it needs to be addressed. Or, maybe not very deep research, but I will address it and bring it up. So, then you can talk amongst yourselves and think about it however you'd like to, whenever you'd like to. I've even been toying with the idea, because now YouTube gives us an option to just do a podcast on YouTube. And I'm like, interesting. I don't know, maybe I should do a daily show or something like that. Just a miscellaneous kind of just talk about whatever I want to talk about for half an hour kind of show. I don't know, or maybe an hour. Maybe people like to listen to it, when they're working out, doing the dishes, cleaning the bathroom, cooking, whatever, right? I'm always thinking about domestic stuff because that's what I do a lot. Folding clothes, doing laundry, ironing, dusting, vacuuming. I mean, really. But, so anyway, returning viewers, thank you for returning. New viewers, thank you for being new. Subscribers, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate every single last one of you. And all of you, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share these videos if you enjoy them. If you don't enjoy them, there ain't nothing I can do about that, so whatevs. So that's it. That's the church announcements. I got a comment on one of these videos. I don't remember which one yesterday. Somebody said I need to be posting these on Reddit and Facebook groups. I don't really know how to do that. I have a Reddit account, an Object of Art Reddit account, or something like that. Object of Art, Miss M, kind of. That's my, I guess, screen name or whatever. But I've never used it. So, something to think about. But anyway, I'm just coming off of this video. I just did some stuff on, some computer work from a job. And the other day I was looking stuff up, right? And I said, well, let me look this up because I've been talking about it quite a bit lately. And let me just explore it a teensy-weensy little bit. Before we get to that, my community page, you guys, just put this one just popped up 25 minutes ago. Okay, so yeah, I scheduled them, and look at the awesome shot they got of her, Wendy. I'll just call her by their character name, Wendy, at the top of the stairs, swinging that bat, the throwing stick. Remember, the 7 Hebrew letters with the tagging, the 3 tagging on them. And I mean, if this don't look like tagging or a crown on top of her head, I don't know what does. And you know what this reminds me of? and this is an article. It's faroutmagazine.co.uk. Lee Unkrich claims the number of takes in the Shining stairway sequence is not true. Okay, so check it out, you guys. But when I took a better look at this photo, it again reminded me of another movie based on a Stephen King novel, Carrie. Okay, doesn't this look like very Carrie-esque to you? The Crown, because like in the movie when Carrie, when they play that horrible prank on her and they douse her with the pig's blood, she just got crowned prom queen. Y'all, what say you? Go ahead and drop it in the comments. Can't wait to see what you think about what I just said about that, among other things. And this, I wanted to reshare this article that again I can thank the fellas on Slack for. Look at this. This is alleged. Well, not allegedly. No, these are Vivian Kubrick's photos, and they're showcased in the article linked here. And this is her setup, or one part of her room in the cutting room, where she was working on her Making of the Shining documentary. And, well, wouldn't you know, there's an Adler typewriter on this table here. Okay, so she's got the Adler. I don't know why she would need a typewriter to do, to cut film. And that ain't none of my business. But there it is. It's an Adler typewriter. And it's very similar to the Adler typewriter on the, actually it's more or less the same. It's got the same ridges, it's got the same band where the letters that spell out Adler are, the same kind of keys, the same little label on the space bar. Like, is this it? I don't know. And I'm talking about the beige one, the off-white one that I say is a representation of Stanley and Stanley's presence. Maybe Vivian's trying to tell us something with this photo. Even at the time, like 1978, 79, when she made the Making of the Shining documentary. This is interesting to me. And look at the blank screen. She photographed this, as far as I know. Look at the can of Coca-Cola. It's peeking out from behind the typewriter. Okay, there's no paper in the typewriter, or is there? I don't know. Maybe this little thing is like an index card. I don't know. But anyway, she's got her typewriter. And that famous thing from I don't know how many years ago on the internet where they showed a picture of a dress and they said, okay, is this dress like gold or is it blue? And the internet was like confused about that, and so was I. Is this like off-white or is it like, I think it is. I think it's like that beigey off-white color, the same as the one in the Colorado Lounge before it turns black. But you all let me know what you think. And also, I put up this, it's, again, a Katerina Kubrick on Eyes Wide Shut, and it's an article, I think, about her talking about that movie. I need to, incorporate that into a video, too. And these are the posters for the movie. I guess it came out July 16th of, I think, 1999. 7 minus 3, so 4 months after Stanley Kubrick's death. And I know masks are a part of the movie, and I know some people can interpret this as like a costume mask. But I think it was Dr. Luke who said in the comments of this post of mine that, oh, they look like death masks. You are right, Dr. Luke. And my comment replying to him was, and it reminds me a lot of the famous Napoleon death mask. So, whoever did the art for these posters, one is with Tom Cruise's face alone, and the other one is with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman's face, and the background is red. Surprise, surprise. There's a lot to think about. And, I already went over that one, so there's that. But what I wanted to talk to you about today is tennis. Okay? I know it doesn't make sense, but here we are. Here I am. I'm gonna make sense of it for you. Or, I just it's like I got 4 tabs open. They're all Wikipedia articles. So this is not like some deep dark research where I buried myself in the library or something. But of course we keep seeing those tennis balls in the movie, like in 2 different rooms of the hotel, and then the hallway in front of room 237. So first in the Colorado Lounge, and then in the lobby, and then in front of room 237. And I mean, I guess even we can argue that we see it right when Jack gets to the hotel for his interview, because I said, the man and that lady, they're dressed for tennis with tennis rackets, and they're on their way to, um, I think, a non-existent tennis court. So tennis, like, for some reason, um, Stanley wants us to be aware of tennis. Okay, the featuring of the tennis balls and the featuring of the couple like that look like they're on their way to play tennis when Jack just walks into the hotel for his interview. Okay, so I said, let me look up tennis. What's the worst that can happen? So here we are. Let me just read this first paragraph to you, and then I'll skip down to the juicy part. Tennis is a racket sport that is played either individually against a single opponent, singles, or between 2 teams of 2 players each, doubles. Each player uses a tennis racket that is strung with cord to strike a hollow rubber ball covered with felt over or around a net into the opponent's court. And this is interesting to me, like, because Jack and Wendy's dialogue in the Colorado Lounge, whether it's the nighttime scene, or later in the movie when they're having their big showdown, it seems like their dialogue seems like a tennis match. I don't know why. It just like gives me that vibe. But anyway, yeah. The object of the game is to maneuver the ball in such a way that the opponent is not able to play a valid return. So Jack always seems to be winning the tennis game that they're verbally playing in the Colorado Lounge. I don't know. I just don't know. The player who is unable to return the ball validly will not gain a point, while the opposite player will. Tennis is an Olympic sport and is played at all levels of society and all ages. The sport can be played by anyone who can hold a racket, including wheelchair users. The original form of tennis developed in France during the late Middle Ages. You guys, did you hear that? The late Middle Ages in France. Really? That I didn't know it was that old. I surely didn't. The modern form of tennis originated in Birmingham, England, in the late 19th century as lawn tennis. It had a close connection both to various field lawn games such as croquet and bowls, as well as to the older racket sport today called real tennis. And I have a tab open for real tennis too. Now, it says it's related to or has connection to various field or lawn games such as croquet. Is it croquet featured in the novel by Stevie the Snowman? Where the maze is in the movie, that's where the croquet field or court or whatever would be in the novel. I'm just saying. This is not me talking. This is Wikipedia talking. The rules of modern tennis have changed little since the 1890s. Okay, I'm not going to get into that. This is the part that I find most interesting, and I'm not even going to cover the origins of the modern game. I'm going to leave all these links in the description if you want to explore these pages a little more. But here we go. Okay. I'm going to read the predecessors part of the history section. And there's a huge article called The History of Tennis. And I don't want to get that into it, but again, you're free to do that if you so wish. But predecessors, you might find this quite interesting. Historians believe that the game's ancient origin lay in 12th century northern France, where a ball was struck with the palm of the hand. Did you hear me? I'll read it again. Historians believe that the game's ancient origin lay in 12th century northern France, where a ball was struck with the palm of the hand. Louis X of France was a keen player of jeu de paume, game of the palm, okay, which evolved into real tennis and became notable as Louis X now became notable as the first person to construct indoor tennis courts in the modern style. Louis was unhappy with playing tennis outdoors and accordingly had indoor enclosed courts made in Paris around the end of the 13th century. In due course, this design spread across royal palaces all over Europe. In June 1316, at Vincennes, Val-de-Marne, and following a particularly exhausting game, Louis drank a large quantity of cooled wine and subsequently died of either pneumonia or pleurisy, although there was also suspicion of poisoning. Because of the contemporary accounts of his death, Louis X is history's first tennis player known by name. This is going to become important soon. Tancred, this is partially for you. Another of the early enthusiasts of the game was King Charles V of France, who had a court set up at the Louvre Palace. It was not until the 16th century that rackets came into use, and the game began to be called tennis, from the French term tenner, which can be translated as hold with an exclamation point, a hold, receive, or take, an interjection used as a call from the server to his opponent. It was popular in England and France, although the game was only played indoors, where the ball could be hit off the wall. Henry VIII of England was a big fan of this game, which is now known as real tennis. An epitaph in St. Michael's Church, Coventry, written circa 1705, read in part, "Here lies an old tossed tennis ball, was racketed from spring to fall." I'll read it. Let me just finish it. Was racketed from spring to fall with so much heat and so much haste. With so much heat and so much hast, time's arm for shame grew tired at last. Well. Now I paused at this line, was racketed from spring to fall, 'cause that's when the Overlook Hotel is open, from May 1st to October 1st, or depending on, in the epilogue scene, May 20th to September 20th. So, May 20th is... Wait a minute now. May 20th is not the beginning of spring. No, I think June is June 21st, the summer solstice, is beginning of summer. So 3 months before June is March. So I think March is the beginning of spring. But May is definitely springtime. And September 21st is, what is it called, the fall equinox or something, and that's the beginning of autumn. So here lies an old tossed tennis ball, was racketed from spring to fall. That's exactly open season at the Overlook Hotel. My goodness. Okay. During the 18th, and this is at St. Michael's Church, Coventry. Now, who is this dedicated to? Who's buried? Is this the epitaph of Henry V? I'm not Henry V, Henry VIII? I'm not sure. I don't know, and I'm not about to click on this to find out, but intriguing. Now, During the 18th and early 19th century, as real tennis declined, new racket sports emerged in England. The invention of the first lawnmower in Britain in 1830 is believed to have been a catalyst for the preparation of modern-style grass courts, sporting ovals, playing fields, pitches, greens, etc. This in turn led to the codification of modern rules for many sports, including lawn tennis, most football codes, lawn bowls, and others. Okay, now this is origins of the modern game. I'm not really that interested in this. This paragraph, the predecessors, is interesting to me because jeu de paume, game of the palm, sounds an awful lot like what Jack is doing in the Colorado Lounge with that tennis ball. I'm sure you picked up on that by now. I didn't. I mean, maybe didn't even have to emphasize it for you. So this is this game of the palm, is the predecessor to every form of tennis that exists, whether it's real tennis, lawn tennis, whatever. It's related to croquet, which again is featured in the novel rather than the movie. Lord. So I opened up the tab for real tennis. And I'll read this first a little bit. Again, you can what is this? Okay. You can read all of this in your own time, but I'll just read this first paragraph for you. For real tennis. Real tennis, one of several games sometimes called, the sport of kings. Tankard. And everybody, too. Sweet mother of pearl. I just can't. Stanley did his research now, didn't he? Okay, one of several games, sometimes called the sport of kings, is the original racket sport, from which the modern game of tennis, also called lawn tennis, is derived. It is also known as court tennis in the United States, formerly royal tennis in England and Australia, and court paume in France, to distinguish it from long paume. And I think I have a tab open for long paume too, and in reference to the older racketless game of jeu de paume. I have a tab open for that too. The ancestor of modern handball and racket games. Many French real tennis courts are at jeu de paume clubs. The term real was first used by journalists in the early 20th century as a retronym to distinguish the ancient game from modern lawn tennis, even though at present the latter sport is seldom contested on lawns outside. The few social club managed estates I completely screwed that up. Even though at present the latter sport is seldom contested on lawns outside the few social club managed estates, such as Wimbledon, there are more than 50 active real tennis courts in the world, located in the United Kingdom, Australia, the United States, and France. Other countries have currently disused courts, such as the two in the Republic of Ireland. The sport is supported and governed by various organizations around the world. Okay. So I didn't even know there was a difference between what they call real tennis here and what we call, what we watch on TV, that tennis. And I guess that tennis is called lawn tennis. Oh, there's so much going on here. But this is important here. The sport of kings, okay, is the original racket sport from which the modern game of tennis, also called lawn tennis, is derived. Well, and this real tennis is derived from the racketless game of jeu de paume. Okay, interesting. And then I opened this tab for long paume. Long paume, also jeu de long paume, long tennis, is an outdoor version of jeu de paume, an ancestor of modern lawn tennis. It has been popularly played, particularly in France, for several centuries. It is a game of gain ground as balle à la main. And a balle à la main just means, I guess, handball, right? I said, I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to look up a balle à la main. Y'all can do that on your own. You can navigate to this page and have at it. But anyway, it was part of the Paris 1900 Summer Olympics, but its medal status is disputed. Today, the sport is mostly played in the region of Picardy. The governing body of the sport is the Fédération Française de Long Pont, with its headquarters in Amiens. Listen, there's like a lot of these different games. There's a lot of these different games, and they all, the great great granddaddy of them all is Jeu de Paume. Okay. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 ay. Now, let me get on to this tab. I want to show you this. Jeu de Paume. Originally spelled Jeu de Paume. Palm game, nowadays known as real tennis. U.S. court tennis, or in France, court paume, is a ball and court game that originated in France. It was an indoor precursor of tennis, played without rackets, and so game of the hand, though these were eventually introduced. It is a former Olympic sport and has the oldest ongoing annual World Championship in sport, first established over 250 years ago. The term also refers to the court on which the game is played and its building, which in the 17th century was sometimes converted into a theater. Okay, this is why I wanted to read this. I put these tabs up and I see something that make my eyebrows perk up, kind of like Jack Nicholson's. And I'm like, and then when I open the tabs to read to you, I'm like, why did I put this here? Oh, yeah. In the 17th century, the court, or the building, was sometimes converted into a theater. Oh, you mean kind of like the Overlook Hotel? Lordy. And Long Paume. Why did I... wait a minute. Is outdoor version of Jeu de Paume, an ancestor of modern lawn tennis, a game of gain ground. Okay. Long Paume. This I showed you just because I wanted to let you know all the different variations. But Jeu de Paume and real tennis, the sport of kings. And I think I've heard of the modern tennis, that lawn tennis, whatever, also referred to as the sport of kings. I guess that makes it fancy. I don't know if kings play, but again, was Stanley aware of this? I would bet that he was. I bet he or his people or whoever spent a whole bunch of time at the library, looking stuff up and photocopying stuff for him or whatever. Oh my goodness. I know he was an avid reader. But Jeu de Paume, the history. Okay, I'll read this for you. Again, the term also refers to the court on which the game is played, and its building, which in the 17th century was sometimes converted into a theater. And this is a illustration of 17th century Jeu de Paume, the court and people playing it. There's so much to think about here. So much to think about in relation to The Shining. And like Stanley, basically, he included this Jeu de Paume. We see Jack doing that, playing this particular game, it seems like it anyway, in the Colorado Lounge by himself, but he's playing it. He's, Jeu de Paume. I guess, hold on. Let me read this and then get to it. He's tossing that tennis ball around with his hand. There's no racket. So originally Jeu de Paume was just your hand or your palm, where you put the tennis ball. I cannot ignore the obvious with regard to that in this movie and Jack's antics in the Colorado Lounge. I just can't. But anyway, let me read the history of Jeu de Paume. or jeu de paume. I have to pronounce it properly. I took French for so many years in school, and I just want to prove to myself that it wasn't all for nothing. Um, anyway, history. In the earliest versions of the game, the players hit the ball with their hands, as in pala, volleyball, or certain varieties of pelota. Jeu de paume or jeu de paume, as it was formerly spelled, literally means palm game. In time, gloves replaced bare hands. Even when paddle-like bats and finally rackets became standard equipment for the game by the late 17th century, the name did not change. It became known as tennis in English. See History of Tennis. Yeah, not right now. And later real tennis, after the derived game of lawn tennis became the more widely known sport. The term is used in France today to denote the game of tennis on a court in which the ancient or modern game might be played. The indoor version is sometimes called jeu de courte, jeu de courte paume, or just courte paume, which means short paume, or courte. Okay, I'm pronouncing that horribly. Jeu de courte paume, or courte paume, to distinguish it from the outdoor version, longue paume, long palm, played on a field of variable length. Jeu de paume at the 1908 Summer Olympics was a medal event. American Jay Gould II won the gold medal. Since 1740, Jeu de paume has been the subject of an amateur world championship held each year in September. It is the oldest active trophy in international sport. Okay, so this is serious. This is serious. And this makes me think of all this stuff about its origins in the medieval world and its like really serious popularization in like the 17th century or whatever. Makes me think of Barry Lyndon. I have yet to watch that movie. I know I'm going to eventually, but like, Barry Lyndon deals with the aristocracy or people who would like to think of themselves as the aristocracy. Maybe they're not really the aristocracy, but like they put on a damn good show. Barry Lyndon is an interloper, and even, the woman he marries, Lady Lyndon, she's also like a, kind of a, from what I gather, I haven't watched the movie yet, but from what I gather, Lady Lyndon is kind of this callous, social climber. Are games like this featured in that movie? I'm asking the people who've seen it. Let me know in the comments. I would love to know. And if they are, that would explain some stuff about The Shining too. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Let me just do my last, I think my last tab. So, as we could see here from the original, or from the main article on tennis, we see in the predecessors that I read that historians believe that the game's ancient origin lay in 12th century northern France. My God, that was a long time ago. Where a ball was struck with the palm of the hand. Louis X of France was a keen player of jeu de paume, which evolved into real tennis and became notable as the first person to construct indoor tennis courts in the modern style. Okay. And oh yes, Louis X. He died after playing a game of this jeu de paume, and like drinking way too much. Maybe that's also a parallel to our Jack. My goodness. But because of the contemporary accounts of his death, Louis X is history's first tennis player known by name. They say tennis player when he was like really playing jeu de paume, but I guess it's all tennis. It's just there's so many different kinds of tennis. And then they mention King Charles V of France. Oh lordy. Oh, by the way, you guys, since I just mentioned King Charles, like May 6th, this Saturday, like the coronation is going to happen, isn't it? And if I've got any viewers in England, like, I hope you all have a lovely day on that day and, enjoy it. I've seen all kinds of stuff on the internet for people to, like, prepare and to celebrate that day. I saw, was it on Instagram? It was like a recipe. It's called coronation chicken. So, look that up, yo. But I saw Charles the France, like May 6th is his coronation day, and the day before is Cinco de Mayo. So, like, it's Cinco de Mayo officially today. It's past midnight. I'm making this video. So, happy Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo. Mayo? My God, no. Happy Cinco de Mayo to everybody who celebrates it. I guess in Southern California we all kind of do. Let me tell you, the grocery store was crowded this past week. People are getting ready for their little Cinco de Mayo celebration. They probably tequila, probably some good Modelo beer, and you got to go get like tajin and chamoy and stuff for your tacos and your taquitos and nachos, and maybe some people are actually making real Mexican food. So, that requires actual spices and things like cinnamon and cloves and whatever. So, happy Cinco de Mayo. And I made it yesterday, but I forgot that yesterday was May the 4th. So, may the 4th be with you. Interesting. All this stuff happening on this, this week in May. It's interesting. But anyway, so where was I going with this? Oh yes, not the Henry the Second. No. Louis X of France. I want to talk about him. And Tancred, this is the part where you pay attention. Because he's like, what does it say in this article? He's like, because of the contemporary accounts of his death, Louis X is history's first tennis player known by name. Well, this is the cute part. This is the juicy part of the video. Louis X of France. Here he is. Louis X. I guess these are his birth and death dates: 4th of October, 1289 to the 5th of June, 1316. Known as the quarrelsome, in French, le Hutin, was king of France from 1314, and Tancred, and king of Navarre as Louis I from 1305 until his death. He emancipated serfs who could buy their freedom and readmitted Jews into the kingdom. Interesting. All right. His short reign in France was marked by tensions with the nobility. Due to fiscal and centralization reforms initiated during the reign of his father by Grand Chamberlain Enguerrand de Marigny. Louis's first wife, Margaret, implicated in the Tour de Nesle affair, was found guilty of infidelity and was imprisoned till her death. Oh dear. On the 14th of August, 1315. Louis and Clemence of Hungary were married that same year, but he died on the 5th of June, 1316, leaving a pregnant wife. Queen Clemence gave birth to a boy who was proclaimed as King John I, but the infant only lived 5 days. Louis's brother, Philip, Count of Poitiers, succeeded John to become Philip V of France. Okay. Like, I don't know about the way he treated his first wife, Margaret. I'm not cool with that. But he seems to have done some good things. Emancipated the serfs, and they could buy their freedom, and he readmitted Jews into the kingdom. That's, pretty awesome of him. His short reign, tensions with the nobility. That's interesting. And what have you. Now, he was not just king of France, he was the king of Navarre. So, Tancred, somebody, and I did look this up. I don't have time for it now. I don't want this video to be too long, but somebody who's named Navarro, the surname, that means that they originate from this area, Navarre. Let me just go ahead and open that up for you. So, you know why I'm saying this, Tancred, right? Rob Navarro, the author of the Wendy Theory video, right? And Tancred has his theories about that, and Tancred is working on a video, and I want you all to have all of your eyes on his channel. He's fidna drop that video sometime in the near future, I think. I will probably be one of the first people to watch it, and I want you all to watch it too. Again, he does really awesome work, really awesome ideas. Go over there and subscribe if you have, and hit the little notification bell if you haven't already. Hit my notification bell too, because you don't want to miss all of my, this awesomeness. But anyway, list of Navarrese monarchs. Let me just find Navarre. Navarre, there it is, Navarre. Okay, the Kingdom of Navarre. You've maybe never heard of this, and I've heard of it, but I don't know too much about it. The Kingdom of Navarre is Basque. Basque Nafarroaco, Resuma Spanish Reino de Navarra, French Royaume de Navarre, Latin Regnum Navarre. Originally, the Kingdom of Pamplona was a Basque kingdom that occupied lands on both sides of the Western Pyrenees, with its northernmost areas originally reaching the Atlantic Ocean, the Bay of Biscay, between present-day Spain and France. And they show it to you on the map down here. Now, you can look at all this on your own. I'll leave this in the comments, not in the comments, in the description too. What are the odds of history's first known tennis player, Louis X? He died while playing tennis, or right after playing tennis. Okay, and he was, for his time, the first documented tennis player ever. He was the king of France, yes, but he was also the king of Navarre. And Navarre is a Basque kingdom, or was a Basque kingdom. So they say this in past tense. The Basques are like kind of a mysterious people. Like they have their own special blood type. All right, and I mean, you can look it up if you want to go down a rabbit hole. Yeah, look up Basque people. Very, very mysterious. And Navarre, the Kingdom of Navarre, was a Basque kingdom. This is interesting to me. Like, if what I'm thinking is possible or plausible, so the person who's doing the channel, Rob Navarro, is referencing Navarre, right, from this Basque region, the King of Navarre, and Louis X, the first tennis player, but really jeu de paume player in history, was also king of Navarre, and he seems to have done good things like emancipating serfs and letting the Jews come back into his kingdom. Like, this is significant. Okay, so Tankard, you might very well be right about your theory regarding who the real author of the Wendy Theory video is. Okay, and I might have to eat every single last word I've ever said about that. We shall see. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'm not afraid of being wrong. I mean, you've seen y'all people. You've seen my videos. Like, I'm really not afraid of messing up. You see that I don't do this with a script. I don't even have any notes. I just, like I was telling Dr. Luke and the fellas on Slack, I just switch on the machine and I start talking. Okay? This has no rhyme, no reason, no organization, no outline, no notes, no script, for sure, no script, no nothing. Y'all... This is weird. To me, this is weird. Yes, this is weird. Like, this is very weird. Very, very, very weird. I can't wait to see what you all, how you all react in the comments. Is there a connection? I believe there is between Jeu de Paume and what Jack is doing in the Colorado Lounge with that tennis ball. And in the epilogue scene, when fucking Ullman um hands or tosses the tennis ball to Danny, he's saying, "Okay, kid, it's your serve." Yeah, but Stanley cut that out of the movie for some reason. He said, "You know what? Let me not put that in there." And Shelley Duvall has gone on record as saying that she thinks he should have left it in there because that explains what's really going on in the movie. Whew. People, people, people. So much to think about. So much to think about. Okay, I think I've said enough for today. I'm going to leave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 6 of these Wikipedia articles. Going to leave those in in the description of this video. Can't wait to read your opinions, your contributions, your comments, statements, criticism, what have you. I love them all. I really do. And you've all been so respectful and kind. And lately, I had some stinkers back about a year ago. Haven't seen one in a long time. So thank you guys for being so awesome. So let me reiterate my church announcements. Returning viewers, thank you for returning. New viewers, thank you for being new. Subscribers, thank you for subscribing. And each and every single last one of you, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. And when you subscribe, not if, but when you subscribe, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can get, you can know right away when I throw up one of these videos. And that's about it. Let me know what you think. I wanted to do this video about tennis, or jeu de paume, okay, the original tennis. And I want to do some more videos. Yeah, I've got more. This is just one. I want to do a video about the Colorado Lounge. You might be surprised at my little theory about that. And I've been I did a little teensy bit of research about the number 42. I don't know what to think of my own research, but we shall see. And of course, I'm going to be working on the next Understanding The Shining, and I'm going to do, hopefully, an installment of Full Metal Jacket, Kill Bill, and hopefully, finally, Eyes Wide Shut. And again, maybe a video about an artist. I really want to do Salvador Dali. I really do, because I think that Salvador Dali's work has something of a connection to what we're trying to figure out with The Shining. So that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. But again, it's never going to stop me. So you all, until next time, until I find yet another reason to talk at you, I'm going to go ahead and bid you bye-bye. So, happy Cinco de Mayo, and bye-bye, everybody.